You ready to get started?
If you are.
Yes, ma'am. Hey, welcome to another episode of the Blackout Tips Podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
and we're live on a Monday night, ready to give you some podcasting. Find us everywhere you find podcasts. The name of the show is the Blackout Tips. You're already listening to it.
Mm-hmm.
Hit that subscribe button, that follow button, that like button, all that good stuff. Feedback shows are Saturdays, so leave feedback by hitting on the links in the show notes, and then you can just leave feedback and we'll react to it.
Yay!
We appreciate y'all to take the time out to do that.
We do.
The official weapon of the show is
the taser,
and the unofficial sport,
bullet ball,
and bullet ball extreme. I don't know what kind of show today is gonna be. We just gonna get right into the show. Okay. Just a lot of stuff to talk about and all that. Of course, we always start with coronavirus news, even though the segment's getting shorter and shorter, y'all, as less people give a fuck.
Coronavirus. Look, here we go again. We got variants. Really need to keep a mask on hand and follow the plan. Get the vaccine and second shots, whether woman or man. Blackout who tips is doing their part, but the dummies expand. Niggas would rather believe a bunch of misinformation. Fuck y'all idiots not getting shots. Now we gotta regress. If we keep going in this direction, we never can rest. Never can get back to the lives we be living the best. Damn fool, stop the lying, stop the intubation crying, cause it's your fault that motherfuckers dying. Damn fool, stop the lying, stop the ventilator crying, cause it's your fault that motherfuckers dying. I do not understand this shit, I'm not a fan of this. We were like one win from the pandemic championship, but fuckers wanna leave it to game 7 with Giannis Delta Kumpo blocking forward progression and Chris middle fingers to your plans, man. Damn. Looks like it's no Drew holiday for you and your mans. I'm sick of black people dying for real, so I'm just writing this new piece to let you know how I feel. Coronavirus, fuck that COVID-19, it's unseen, it's creeping in the air for you to breathe, so fuck that COVID-19, it's unseen, it's creeping in the air for you to breathe,
Coronavirus news, let's get to it. It's not a ton of it. Joe Manchin got that COVID.
Okay. Coronavirus said, these are my confessions. Fuck around and I will get up all in your lungs. These are my confessions. Play around with me and I will show you my confessions.
Monkeypox cases in New York City have surpassed 1,000, says the health department.
That's not good.
Yeah, Karen, I would agree. Let's see what else happened. Alaska U.S. Senator Lisa Murkowski said Monday that she recently tested positive for COVID-19. She is also a Republican, so we'll see. I just realized what I said. Joe Manchin is a Democrat, but you know what I'm saying. I was like, she's also a Republican, but my bad. I guess I slipped up on that one, guys. That's my fault.
Hey, you gotta hear me. My CTE acting up.
Maryland Rep Ruppelsberger test positive for COVID-19 as well.
Because everybody said fuck it.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of these hearings and stuff, political stuff, has all been happening in person without masks.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of
in
it.
These rooms, shoulder to shoulder, packed house.
And maybe they're trying to lead by example and show people, like, listen, you're gonna get it, but you're not gonna die.
Right.
And you're not going to get too sick if you're vaccinated. So maybe that's really what they're trying to say. I don't want to.
I guess, but some people go, I just don't want it. Like why can't we get to the point where, why does it have to be inevitable that everybody's going to get it because everybody said, fuck it?
Yeah. So I don't know. But I mean, in all fairness, the countries where they're locking down don't seem to be handling it great either. It seems like it's still spreading everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
There was a point where I remember, like, Japan and a couple other places, even China, it was like, oh, we can all go back outside, but it ain't working. I don't think there's anything we can do that's going to beat this disease other than be vaccinated and treat it like the flu. Hospitals are struggling with staff shortages as federal COVID funds run out. Hospitals around the country are grappling with widespread staffing shortages, complicating preparations for a potential COVID-19 surge as the BA.5 subvariant drives up cases, hospital admissions, and deaths. Long-standing problems, worker burnout, and staff turnover have grown worse as COVID-19 waves have hit healthcare workers again and again, and as more employees fall sick with COVID-19 themselves. Yeah, because every time there's a variant that is able to escape the vaccines or previous infections, of course, it's going to hit the hospital workers first.
Right, because the people are coming there because they're sick. And so the first wave of the shit is going to hit them first.
Right. So yeah, we had a ramp up during the surges and then try to figure it out. Do we keep people? Do we let them go when we're not surging, says Julie Hirschhorn, director of molecular pathology at the Medical University of South Carolina in Charleston. The surges tend to be just far enough apart to not know what to do. It's a hard new normal. Yeah, so they're hiring people, then they're letting them go, and they're using those COVID funds to do it, and now they're out, and no one is renewing those funds because Republicans keep striking it down. And Manchin and Sinema won't, get rid of the filibuster so they can pass that, part of the budget. So yeah, this is inevitably what was going to happen.
Yeah, and then with all the other things going on, what people fail to realize, this impacts more shit than people think about. Just because I'm not sick and I'm not in the hospital, let's just say I have a normal accident. Let's say I have an emergency, which is non-COVID related. Now they're going to have to make decisions between life and death. And if my situation is serious enough to get me in there, in the first place, or do they give me 3 ibuprofens and send my ass home and tell me, unless you on death's door, don't come back?
Yeah. Health outcomes are going to be worse for everybody because of this. In March, a funding deal to cover part of the White House's $22.5 billion request fell apart because Democrats in Congress objected to repurposing unspent funds promised to states earlier in the pandemic, while Republicans said they needed an accounting of the $6 trillion that Congress appropriated for pandemic relief in the past funding bills before approving new money. So it's just a stall tactic.
Yeah, they lying. They don't care.
Yeah. And it's going to work.
Mm-hmm. Right. And then you have people running out of money, needing federal assistance, and it's not going to be able to get to them.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's get into some other news. A man divides opinion after calling his wife not the most beautiful woman. A man has single-handedly riled up the people of the internet after describing his fiance as not the most beautiful woman in an Instagram post dedicated to her. Speaker, life coach, and activist Solomon Bucci has people up in arms after sharing a series of photos of his fiancee, Adiola Arike, to Instagram and Facebook and declaring his love for her. First of all, life coach, I'm going to need to see your win-loss record. It seemed like life coach is becoming next to porn star and stand-up comedian.
I got
was just an attempt that means that you get the title.
Just the attempt.
Like at least when you're a doctor and you're Dr. Dre, it's like we know not to come to you for surgery, like life coach. Need to see some receipts, buddy.
Need to see some degrees or something.
Yeah.
Fucking life coach.
You ever got a nigga to the playoffs? How many championships you got? After referring to his partner as not the most beautiful / intelligent, he explained that it was a realistic base for real love, but followers weren't having it and didn't hesitate to call out his humiliating relationship tribute.
So this
is him.
Thought he was doing something.
He did, Women be walking around like, listen, I know my man ain't gonna embarrass me.
Mm-mm.
And they man be like, his original post, which is now, he has now muted the comments on Instagram and limited comments on Facebook. Bro, delete it. Delete this.
Right.
What you doing?
Thought you was doing something.
What was the reason?
What was the point?
Talking about I'm just gonna turn the comments off. Well, she still seen it. So this is a picture. Look like he crying that she's getting on a plane because they now have a long distance relationship. And this is pictures of her. And she is pretty. I don't
Mhm.
like. I don't know, man. What do niggas just be looking? I don't know. Like, was he just looking at Instagram models and was like, my bitch ain't shit? Like,
Yeah, and I don't know
what
he thought about that. People was going to take in a positive light. Like, I
Yeah.
don't comprehend it.
And let's say that this is your very grounded, very realistic look at love. You're just a realist, and you just got to say these things. You know, this is how you feel. Why would you tell us? You didn't know how this is gonna go. Has any of these posts that start with what they woman is not ever gone good? Has those not? What's the best case scenario? Is it don't go viral? Because the best case scenario is not everybody goes, wow, this motherfucker in love. The best case scenario is always just people go, wow, he tripping, but I ain't gonna say nothing. So he wrote, you're not the most beautiful woman. Neither are you the most intelligent woman. But I've chosen to never find perfection in anyone else. I put my gaze on you, and with that commitment, we will mold ourselves for ourselves. Our perfection is in our commitment. Stating that you're not the most beautiful, intelligent might sound like it's not a compliment, yeah, but it's a realistic base for real love. Oh, he's searching for a real love. Acknowledging that my woman isn't the best, but I'm not looking for the best. I was looking for you, and I found you. With your average, you all right, okay? And I just want to let you know that you doing acceptable.
You passing.
Yeah, I would give you a C, but you my C. You're not, there's no best, there's just someone you choose and see the best in them. This to me is the real love, not the one that consoles itself in the faux reality that their partner is the most good looking, most intelligent, most successful person in the world. That's disingenuous and doesn't give room for love to thrive. My love for you isn't about you being the best. It's about you being you. There's just no other you. I love you, Ayanfi. I'm committed to you. I miss you so much, but my love for you is stronger than distance. Says a nigga that's definitely probably cheating. The way he talking, I mean, that's a lot. So yeah, that's what he wrote, and apparently it has people divided because there's some people that think that was a cool thing to say and do.
You called her stupid. You said you ugly and
not
you
the
stupid,
most intelligent, not stupid.
Dumb. You said stupid and you said dumb.
He said she's not dumb.
Whatever. You said stupid.
She's just not the smartest.
Said dumb. You said I got with somebody that ain't smart.
He said she's not the smartest or the best looking. By the way, in every picture, she's looks stunning.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. Like, this is the engagement photos. Like, I mean, you just got to question the decision making, man. I hope they happy, and I hope that that's not indicative of things he says, because it's like it feels like a neg. You know what I mean? With those dudes that do like pickup artists where they say something negative about you to put themselves in a position where you think they're better than you. And it's not like he wrote about himself and said, I'm not the smartest, I'm not the best looking, but thank you for being with me or some shit. It is weird. It is weird, uncouth. It seems very.
And you didn't have to tell us, like,
yeah,
even if that's what you truly thought in your heart,
right?
Even if you have had a conversation with her, we do not need to be privy to any of this.
And that's the thing, because some people are gonna be like, so what? I got to go up for my. You actually didn't have to say shit,
right? We didn't have to know.
And keep in mind, this is him thinking he's going up for her. So I did see one person on all of the internet that thought it was a great idea, and I was just like, oh well, good luck, because at the end of the day, who am I to judge? I've been married so long. I'm not out here dating. It's not for me to give my opinion.
I got an opinion about it, and nigga, fuck you. You call me stupid and dumb and say I don't look good and think I'm supposed to motherfucking hang around, nigga, fuck you.
Well, this is the manosphere all over again. Who am I to say that these men hating these women and telling them to hate themselves is a bad thing? What do I know? I'm just a guy that's been happily married in a relationship that would never do no dumb shit like this. But I don't know. maybe this is cute. Maybe this is what people want to hear these days.
Well, then I'm not built for
so
it.
much has changed in my lifetime.
There's some shit that don't change. The technology and shit may change around it, but there's some shit that don't change about human beings and their behavior.
Florida rapper Rolly Bands got shot and killed after telling his enemies to meet him at his apartment.
Oh, and they did, and I have no idea who that is, but they did.
Yeah, I know. Congratulations, Karen. You and everybody else over 35 don't know who he is.
Thank you.
So you did it. Let's give it up for Karen, everybody. She did not know who this rapper was.
I know you be messing with me, but I'm not the only one going, who?
No, I'm just saying. I just want to give it up for you because you don't know who he is, and you know it's a big day for you. Don't act like you don't enjoy these things. This is like your favorite thing. When I found this article, I knew that you was gonna not know who he was, and all I had to do was wait. All I had to do was wait. I just say his name, and then I already know how the article's gonna go. Oh, it's Rolly Bands, and then Karen just comes in. So
I hope you didn't expect me to know.
I didn't.
Okay.
I know that's what my whole point is. I'll tell you who did know. The niggas that killed him.
Yeah, they know who he was and apparently where he was at.
He when posted, a lot of these niggas know where I live at for real. I sleep in peace. If a nigga won't smoke, I'm at my crib in 5 minutes. And
they wanted to smoke.
5 minutes after he posted that, he was killed. Suicide by gangster. I don't know what we call that.
I don't know. But I don't want to smoke, bruv, so I don't say things like that on the internet.
Yeah, that's a wild. He was a wild boy, I guess. I mean, whew, you hate to see it.
Yeah, you do.
Let's see. Oh, the incest allegations against Ricky Martin have been dropped after the singer's nephew withdraws his abuse claims. This is not surprising to me. Like I said, I had a friend who's a lawyer and deals with family law break down on Facebook like why these charges were probably false. And she just, broke down like the timing, the fact that he wasn't there, the age of the nephew's passed, and all this other shit. The fact that Puerto Rico treats this very seriously. And she was like, yes, it's probably just like some bullshit that his nephew's doing. I was like, all right, well, we'll see. I'm not gonna report on it because it's so salacious accusations. You almost want everybody's gonna run with it like he did it, you nasty sick motherfucker, just because it's an allegation, and that's all it takes these days. You don't have to prove anything. But yeah, man, I time will tell if that was really true.
Right,
sounds like it wasn't. Lefty New York lawmaker Jessica Ramos blast AOC as absent and out of touch. Progressive state lawmaker from Queens took a shot at Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez for being absent and out of touch, accusing the left-wing icon of blowing off a meeting. Senator Jessica Ramos, whose Western and Central Queens district overlaps with AOC's congressional district and who has been an ally, unloaded on the congresswoman after a med student complained about her canceling a healthcare forum. A couple of the most highly respected health policy academics recently set up a meeting with AOC's office to discuss NHS-style healthcare reform, said the medical student who used the Twitter handle JLies. They were told bluntly by AOC staff, we're not doing healthcare right now. The health activist added, so while she's doing performative resistance art for the cameras, she's not doing healthcare right now. We are in the middle of 2 pandemics and people are still dying because they lack healthcare. This is not fighting. And when she said performative resistant arts for the cameras, this is like an inside reference, but she's talking about how AOC got arrested for an abortion rights protest, but the cops never put handcuffs on her, but when the cops came, she put her hands behind her back like she was handcuffed, and people think she did it for like the photo op of looking handcuffed, even though she wasn't. And then like as they were escorting her off, like her, Ilhan Omar, and I forget the other person, they like did put like a fist in the air, so then you knew they weren't handcuffed. But I don't know that, you know, maybe she was doing that, or maybe it just, you know, you put your hands down because the police got your hands on you. You expect them to put the cuffs on you, and they never do. I don't know, but yeah, a lot of people were like, "Look at her, she faking handcuffs," and that was mostly a right-wing attack that said that. But you know, when the girls are fighting, it's all fair game, regardless of the source.
Yep, people grab that stuff, and that's why a lot of shit that the right brings works on the left, because they know what strings to pull, and a lot of times people fall for it every single fucking time, hook, line, and sinker. They don't think about where the source comes from or anything. They go, well, this is what it says, so it must be the truth. But yet we call them dummies and just going along and all that shit. We do it too on our side. People won't admit that, but they do, particularly when they don't like somebody and or they want to take somebody down for not being the perfect candidate.
Well, she was tweeting straight fire at AOC. Maybe if you spent more time in your office and with your team, you know what goes on. Just saying, it would be nice if you breathe our air, Ramos said. She's backed by the Working Families Party, by the way. So as an employer, what happens with the staffer who said this? Someone else said, maybe you're just jealous, just saying. She said, nah, I just want my congressional representative to be around and do their job in the community. Ramos didn't back down when AOC supporters chastised her for criticism. I believe what I see and hear on my streets and in my office building, smiley face, she said. My congressperson being absent is not dirty laundry. It's never been with any other elected official. Ocasio-Cortez responded, I'm really sorry to hear that this happened. It's not representative of me or nor my values. If you can connect with details, I'd appreciate it. I'll follow, so DMs will be open. A spokesperson for AOC said they had no record of the supposed meeting. Our team has asked for additional information. Based on what he's tweeted so far, we aren't able to identify what meeting he's referencing, but we'll continue to look into it. So who knows? Maybe it's just a misunderstanding, but people love to see the infighting in the Democratic Party. And
yes, they
know,
do.
it's just not normally is AOC doing this to someone else. So I guess what's good for the goose is good for the gander, or you teach people how to react to you. If you assume the worst of people in your own party, then people are going to assume the worst of you as some type of get back. So,
right.
But yeah, let's see. What else is happening? Newsom, governor dinner party, is set to sign a gun law modeled after the Texas abortion ban, setting up a Supreme Court fight. Man, this dude, he be going hard. He's basically trying to get gun control legislation, like get the Supreme Court to rule on it for the entire nation. Now, who knows this Supreme Court? I assume they won't do it, but wow. Just the balls on this guy to even try that. I would be shocked if he would. I would not be shocked if he ran for president, straight up.
I'd vote for him.
Yeah.
Him or Governor Moonwalk.
Yeah. South Carolina bill. Well, I'd be shocked if he ran for president, the Governor Moonwalk. Governor Blackface would probably, like, he would have, it'd be too big of a lift. South Carolina bill outlaws websites that tell you how to get an abortion. Not websites that mail you pills, anything that just instruct you on how to get an abortion if you live in a red state. Like Slate.com has issued articles about informing people, hey, here's your options. And they want to and then a website's not by state. So like, I don't even know how you would do this, but they want to outlaw even giving people information. So much for freedom of speech, huh? They ain't gonna outlaw telling people how to build a pipe bomb, the anarchist cookbook, but telling somebody, hey, you ain't gotta have a baby just because you live in a state that's trying to force you to have a baby.
Outlaw to tell somebody how to make a gun from scratch.
Right. Meanwhile, CVS told pharmacists to withhold certain prescriptions after Roe's repeal.
They don't want to be sued. And the whole purpose in that they knew this. They knew that people were going to know that the rules were gray, know that the rules were murky, and they knew that people were going to imply shit that wasn't there. That, you know, even if you're doing the right thing, somebody's going to come and say bullshit that's not true and challenge you because they stupid ass don't know the difference. And so they knew that this would be the outcome. You scare people to the point where they don't want to be sued, so they just stop moving, which actually does what you want done and no access to it.
The retail healthcare giant instructed pharmacies to check why customers need medications such as methotrexate and to refuse to provide them if they can't prove that they're not for an abortion.
Right.
And keep in mind, this is like you're telling people this, and it doesn't even sound like they're just telling them this in the states where it was overturned. Well, like the states that have laws about it. It's just like
they're making it a sweeping
your conscience. Like if you don't feel like doing it, you know?
Yeah, and a lot of this is because they know eventually it's going to be against the law. So they were like, let's go ahead and jump ahead and be like, nope. And what's so fucked up about it is like, no matter what you say, if somebody just determined it's a no, it's still going to be a no.
Yeah, well, my thing would not even just be, I hope, maybe that's it. They're just trying to avoid lawsuits, but I don't know. I'm worried that it's not even just that. It might even be on some like, you know, we know y'all Christian and y'all don't want to do it, so you don't have to if you don't feel like it, you know, because we've seen examples of people using that logic. Like, I'm a Christian and I will refuse to sell you a condom, married woman or whatever. And it's like, what? Why is that okay?
Yeah, and I truthfully hope they lose a lot of customers. I hope people start transferring other medication unrelated to it and just be like, fuck it. The fuck I'm gonna come here for then. I can go to the Bilo or Winn-Dixie or the Walmart or somewhere else. Like, I don't have to get my medication filled here, right?
Yeah, they sent this to high risk states. So I assume maybe the states that had the biggest, you know, the laws already on the books. The trigger laws and stuff, so maybe that's why they did it. But yeah, it could be about lawsuits. But wow, just man, this shit is moving so fast. I just feel so bad for the people that, you know, for people that can be pregnant that would have to deal with this shit.
Right, because you don't make laws like that in your company. Like, companies don't move unless money's involved. We're gonna lose money. Like, you do not make rules like that normally.
Yeah, normally, but there's some company with certain moral things. We've seen companies operate in not their best interest for bigotry, like many times. You know, it's Sony saying they don't want to make black movies, even after all these black movies made all this money. They still, you know, they didn't want to do Equalizer 2. Denzel never does sequels, and they were like, they won't do well overseas because he's black, and it's like, well, that doesn't make sense unless you fucking racist.
Right.
You know, so it could be stuff like that too. You know, I think Hobby Lobby, you know, there are certain places that can't wait to discriminate in those ways. And technically you can make an argument financially that it is prudent for a CVS to assist the government in making sure that women have babies. Because technically, you know, baby is a lifetime of money, whereas not having a baby is a one-time sale.
Right.
Anyway, we'll see. Doctor who provided abortion for Ohio girl files claims for damages against Todd Rokita. So Dr. Caitlin Bernard, who was cast into the national spotlight after providing abortion services for the 10-year-old Ohio girl who was sexually assaulted, and had to go, you know, from Ohio to like Indiana or something like that. Well, her name, she was doxxed essentially on all the right-wing stations. They put her name out there. I had
a feeling that was going to happen because I was like, they keep talking about this little girl, and my heart went out. I was like, oh, somebody going to find out who that little girl is.
So now, Kathleen Delaney, who was her Dr. Caitlin Bernard's attorney, sent a tort claim notice Tuesday to Indiana Attorney General Rokita, seeking unspecified damages for security costs, legal fees, and reputational harm and emotional distress. It triggers a 90-day period for Rokita to investigate or settle the claim. After that, Bernard can file a lawsuit.
Yeah, because it's fucked up. Like, you now the family, like, you should not be able to do that.
Yeah. And so
this is a child,
and they did it on purpose because it's actually a warning to other doctors.
Mm-hmm.
Like we know the people that hear your name are gonna threaten you and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like we know that. So when we dox you or whatever, we assume that the worst is going to happen to you, and we want you to feel emotional distress. We want people thinking about helping the next 10-year-old to feel emotional distress and go, I'm not going to do it. I'm scared.
Yeah. The whole point is the fear. Even if nobody responds to it, they just want you in this consistent fear. And it's the same tactic. This tactic was used for slavery. This tactic is used for gun control. Like all this shit is that motherfucking fear. And people are irrational and illogical. And a lot of their rational thinking goes out the window because fear is to the forefront. And when fear runs shit, it always is never good.
Shocking amount of people watch porn at work, and here's why. Apparently, about 60% of people have admitted to watching porn in the office, according to a sugar cookie survey. The reason why
company computer, some shit that you signed that says we monitor everything.
The reason why they got frisky while on the clock isn't what you think. I think we have to view that if someone is accessing porn at work, they're somehow secretly masturbating at the desk, or they're disappearing off to the toilets to masturbate, said Craig Jackson, a professor of occupational health psychology at Birmingham City University in the UK. He said it's more of a distraction. In fact, Jackson noticed that watching porn could be stress relief or a coping mechanism. You get a little stressed out, gotta see some titties or something. I don't know. Many workers in organization feel faceless in the absence of good leadership. They feel overlooked, underutilized, underchallenged, underpromoted. Porn becomes a way of coping with how mundane and unpleasant the reality of their work is. But for some, it's not a way to solve their boredom. In fact, it's a reward, said Paula Howell, an addiction therapist. They just got a sale, had a win. They just finished a piece of work online and it's a treat, she said. We might have a cup of coffee and a cake. Somebody else might watch pornography.
But you're at work.
But Karen, I turned the TPS reports in 15 minutes early.
You're using
now I got to go see Janet Jackman go down on 2 dudes. That's my reward.
This is why they have to keep hiring IT to consistently block these motherfucking sites on the dark web. And y'all got viruses and shit.
Look, some people get up, take a smoke break. Some people take a walk around the block. You know, like everybody different, Karen. And some people log on to, urbanamateurs.com and go to town on themselves because that is the reward for this high stress environment.
No, sir. Wait till you get home.
Working from home, glad you brought that up, meant more freedom while on the clock, and with it came wandering minds. More than half of the people working from home admitted to watching adult videos on devices used for work.
Yeah, you don't know how to courtesy to use your own telephone.
Well, Karen, you just said wait till you get home. So what they working from home, they never leaving home. And that survey was from Kaspersky, which is a fucking antivirus site.
So we monitor the shit.
Research from Pornhub affirmed those findings, revealing that in a 2021 study, while 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. was the most popular time for porn watching, you put the kids to bed and you go to town, 4 p.m. came in close second.
Oh, when people get off work.
So now you wonder why they sit in that parking lot before they come in for a while, sit in the driveway. Leisurely viewing during work hours could have been spurred by pandemic-related working from home trends, but the not safe for work sites data speculated that afternoon gazing was present well before COVID-19 struck, so returning to the office might not deter employees' workplace porn consumption. And for many, they haven't been any negative consequences for secretly letting their freak flag fly. If it feels good, there aren't immediate negative consequences, Jackson told the BBC. People will do it again and again and again and again. Plus, those hell-bent on watching adult clips from the comfort of their cubicle have discovered their company's IT security doesn't succeed at blocking the not safe for work sites as it should. Many workers have found that their organization's IT system for monitoring and blocking adult material content is not very sophisticated at all.
Not unless they invest a lot of money into it. Probably not.
You just go to some redirect site or something, I guess.
Mhm.
I was never a watch porn at work guy. It just, I don't know, just wasn't my thing.
It's the company computer. And like I said, you sign the thing when you start. And at a lot of companies, every 6 months, something pop up on your screen and they be like, you can't get into this bitch unless you say, I confirm that we monitor laptops, desktops, computers, cell phones, anything with this company logo or no telephone number and shit associated to it. If at any point in time we feel like searching that shit, we can.
While it never ends well for those caught porn-handed, adult videos affect more than just your viewer. The impact is far-reaching and could even result in sexual harassment, said Wendy L. Patrick, a career trial attorney, who writes about the effects of porn watching in the workplace. Yeah, I guess if you try to live your raps, like if you watch porn and then you start talking to people around the office like you're watching porn, hey, can you move out the way? I'm trying to get to the coffee, you dirty slut bitch. Like, what? Oh, hey man, calm down. I'm just saying, when you gonna let me give you this cock? Like, all right. You've been watching too much porn, haven't you?
To the human resource offices we go.
Yeah, so it's just interesting that I didn't know so many people were watching it, but it makes sense that they're working at home. I just have never been, I would never be this reckless on my work devices.
That's what I'm talking about.
So yeah,
it ain't like you don't know. You know they monitor the shit. They tell you that every day.
So they said even without getting caught, watching porn in the workplace has been linked to employees shirking and lying about the work they completed throughout the day. But on the other hand, Jackson found some employees overcompensated for porn watching. They kind of do more work to justify pornography use. It's quite interesting. There's a moral trade-off. It's like I gotta work hard, play hard, literally. They said instead of demonizing these people, the focus should be on educating people about the risks so they can make an educated choice. That way, employees can recognize their behaviors are dangerous to themselves or others or dependent.
Not an educated choice. IT need to be on the duty and put up them firewalls, but like you can't see this shit.
Yeah, I must just be old because
no, that was never acceptable.
Yeah, I don't remember this time. Like, is this some new shit? Is this part of that we're a family at work mindset? Because no,
you
don't watch porn at work.
Right, they're not paying you. Your job pays you to do shit, and they pay you not to do shit. One of them is not to watch porn on company time. Now you might can do other shit, but not that.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah, you might can balance your checkbook and pay bills if you choose to, but not that.
What the fuck? Anyway, let's move into the next segment. How about this? Broke. Five broke. We ain't got it. We ain't got it, y'all. The U.S. Postal Service raising shipping prices and increasing the cost of stamps.
Yes.
What happened to my forever stamps? I guess they still worth it though.
Yeah, they cost a little bit more, but they still worth it because they ain't called forever for nothing.
A rate increase will be happening. First class mail prices will be raised by 6.5%. Because they gotta cut this inflation kicking their ass. So in May, Postmaster General Louis DeJoy, who still got a job somehow, warned that while the U.S. Postal Service strives to become self-sufficient, Americans should prepare for uncomfortable postal rate raises in the years to come. I mean, gas got to be kicking their ass too.
Yeah, and that's why sometimes mail gets slower because you know what, like these other jobs, you know what, depending on the postal worker, a lot of them was walking and like interacting with people and shit and stuff like that. Wouldn't be surprised if a lot of them possibly caught COVID. You know, you in them big ass warehouses, y'all all on top of each other and shit like that. Because everybody don't be like driving around house to house. Some people have to actually physically walk and things like that. And I can see them having a shortage in staff and people going, fuck this. You know, and then the people that's there working them hard, or like every other industry, people just leaving the industry all together And the dude you're talking about, who's over it, his whole thing has been to destroy it in the first place.
The US dollar and the euro now share the same value for the first time in 20 years. Oh, sorry about that, euro.
Oh, so the euro came down?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
Shit was worth more than our shit.
So
I know more.
Our dollar wouldn't go as far.
Oh, welcome to the ghetto. We got fun and games.
Mm-mm. Yeah. So it's a dollar equal a euro.
Yeah. Yes. They equal the same thing basically. So the euro value decreased by 12% since the beginning of 2022.
Ooh, that's a big dip.
Yep. Oh man, I hate to see it. I hate it for y'all. You know, y'all don't deserve to go through what we be going through over here.
No, you don't.
The ghetto.
Let's see. Broke. We ain't got it. Gatwick Airport runs out of water, so the toilets won't flush, and the restaurants had to shut down. That's all bad in the UK.
Does the heat have something to do with this?
It was a busted water main that resulted in low water pressure, with only 2 toilets reported to be working in one terminal. Some restaurants have not been able to provide food or drinks. Airport officials handed out bottled water to passengers and apologized.
Oh, no, that place stank.
And yeah, it was because of the temperature.
Okay, that makes sense. I was like, it got that temperature. Hey, people overlooking that temperature. That temperature is really fucking shit up, y'all.
Woo, toilets out of order at the airport.
Yeah, and it's not but a big ass closed-in box. You just walk from one end to the other. I know it smelled like shit up in there.
People had to definitely use the restroom on the plane then. Arizona communities would collapse without cheap prison labor, corrections director says. Yeah, say the quiet part out loud.
Yeah, because you have whole communities. They literally built a lot of these prisons in the middle of nowhere and hired everybody in the town to fucking work there. It's a problem, and that's why they like, fuck what your mama said. We need bodies in here.
But it's not just that, Karen. That's just you talking. But they're saying they need the labor from the prisoners. That sounds a lot like slavery.
Yeah. They need you making shit for 50 cents a day.
Arizona Department of Corrections Director David Shin said Arizona communities would collapse without cheap prison labor during the testimony before the Joint Legislative Budget Committee Thursday. Shin made the statement while answering questions about a request for proposal for a contract to run the Florence West Prison. Senator David Gowan asked Shin about the nature of the work the prisoners do at Florence West Prison. In Arizona, all people in state prisons are forced to work 40 hours a week, with exceptions for prisoners with healthcare conditions and other conflicting programming schedules. Some prisoners earn just 10 cents an hour for their work. These are low-level worker inmates that work in the communities around the county itself, I would imagine, Gowan asked. Yes, the department does more than just incarcerate folks. There are services that this department provides to city, county, local jurisdictions that simply can't be quantified at a rate that most jurisdictions could ever afford. If you were to remove these folks from that equation, things will collapse in many of your counties for your constituents. Wow, the quiet part out loud. My God.
Yes, and it's one of those things to where people have thought this, but there wasn't anything you could put behind it. It's the same thing with a lot of the food industry. Yes, people died, but all these rules and laws they've been passing about people not being able to, cross the border and shitting on Mexican and Latino people. A lot of them work these jobs that everybody talking about you can't fill the positions for. A lot of the people was like, I'm not crossing the border no more. They tripping in America, or either they deporting people and shit like that. So all these jobs that these people would have took for nickels and pennies on the dollar to work these really, really, really physical labor jobs, they're not doing anymore. And so, like you say, this has a lot to do with why there's this big ass gap. You can't get people to fill the jobs because Americans are like, bitch, pay me. And then this hot ass sun and doing all this shit.
Well, they probably been doing this for a long time in Arizona. I bet this ain't no new shit. They've been exploiting prison labor
since the beginning.
I guarantee you for a long time, But it sounds like slavery to me.
Yes, sir.
Slavery.
10 cents an hour.
Right. And the fact that you would boost your economy on it is just the fact that American The American economy has never gotten over the fact that it was built on slavery.
Right.
You know, people get mad at the 1619 Project all the fuck they want, but at the end of the day, America has been trying to get back to slavery since since slavery was outlawed. They've been trying to find ways around it, whether it's the loitering laws, whether it's chain gangs and
The sharecropping.
yeah, the California got people fighting fires that are inmates and shit.
Yeah, and then you
Like,
get out and you can't get a firefighter job,
Yeah.
even though you know how to do the fucking job.
just straight up replacement of slavery. How can we get slavery back? And all I can say is we can never let these people be in charge because they're telling you what they're gonna do.
Right.
Like these motherfuckers are straight up telling you to your face, this is how we gonna run this. The prices of bread are rising faster than inflation, causing sticker shock at $10 a loaf.
What kind of artisan bread is you buying for $10 a loaf?
I don't know. Yeah, they don't say the exact location.
Cause this sure ain't no Marita.
Some grocery stores are now charging $10 for artisanal bread and other premium bread options, making a pantry staple expensive for consumers already struggling with high gas prices.
Right.
So,
It had to be artisanal bread because that's the only thing that I've been looking at them prices going, woo, child.
back to the Wonder Bread for me. Because we broke.
Five broke. We ain't got it.
Let's see. The U.S. military can't find recruits. People ain't trying to do that shit.
They sure ain't. They know. They're like,
Mhm.
I'm good. They're like, I can find other thing and other shits to do. And every time you turn around, y'all changing the laws. You know, and particularly with them, the laws about LGBTQ trust, they're gonna tackle the military soon and be like, hey, we're gonna start kicking people out again.
Yep.
And people are like, you know what? I'm not even gonna waste my time. I'm not even gonna go into there and have to deal with the bullshit that goes along with that.
And of course, last one for this one. For broke, five broke. We ain't got it. Video blinged out Brooklyn Bishop robbed mid-sermon. Armed thieves make out with $400K in jewelry. Niggas is broke these days, Karen. Okay, you can't be walking around with $400,000 worth of jewelry in the pulpit and think that you being a preacher is gonna stop people from doing what they do.
True.
Okay, you can't be. Ain't no flossing these days. 3 thieves were caught on tape in a Brooklyn church on Sunday, where controversial Bishop Lamore Whitehead, an ally of Mayor Adams, was preaching and snatched $400,000 worth of jewelry off of him and his wife, not the first lady.
Did they hold him up by gunpoint?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is that Brooklyn shit, Karen. Okay. They walked in, it was like, Annie up, kidnap that fool.
Here at Good.
Annie up, kidnap that fool. I mean, this is how they do. I guess this is the video.
All right.
Now I will give him props. He immediately assumed the position. He didn't even pretend. Like
nobody trying to get shot.
Like he was like, I'm not about to do like Black Lightning season 1.
No.
Yo. All right.
Man, buddy to the left is calm as hell. Shout out to the camera operator, keeping their composure. He just laid prone on the ground. That clearly they went and got the jury up off of him. And that was a very efficient, discreet robbery. Yeah.
Probably somebody in the congregation.
That would make sense. Maybe it's an inside job, is what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
I think when you're wearing $400,000 of jewelry on these streets in this time, it could be anybody. Like they know this man got that jewelry.
Mm-hmm. He on somebody's list.
And they definitely got guns. I seen
Yeah,
it.
you trying to get shot. And you streaming this live too. Yeah, shout out to the cameraman. Ain't cut it off, stop it, nothing.
The fact that it took multiple trips to get all the jewelry. And now that's a pretty efficient robbery. I mean,
Yeah, they knew the target. They was like, oh, we ain't worried about the rest of y'all broke niggas.
I guess he got up, didn't finish the sermon. All right. Well, that was I mean, that's a bad day for him, you know.
Mm-hmm. Hope you got insurance.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, they rifled through his pockets and took all his shit.
Yeah, they knew he had money and shit and jury. Yeah.
Yeah, his collar was askew because they probably ripped the chains off of him. He went on social media to put the crime in context. I was born without jury. Jury don't make me, he said. He said on the broadcast the congregation is traumatized after the incident. He says, I ain't never scared. I'm not up here being boastful or talking bad about nobody, but you had these women and children crying still. That's not gangster. That's a layup. Like, oh, I robbed a church. You don't get no points for that. He kind of sound, is he a pastor or he a gangster?
All right.
He sound, he turned into, he was like, listen, I speak that street shit, my nigga. This is a picture of him with his chain on and I guess looking, you know, in his expensive clothes. He said the robbery would not affect his preaching in the future. We're pushing. We're still doing what we need to do. I'm not a person from the suburbs. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm from the city. I understand the streets. This bishop is not, I'm not scared. That's okay. He's like, we still out here pushing P. And I mean pushing preaching, y'all. He is keeping it holy. Whitehead made the news recently when he tried to orchestrate the surrender of Andrew Abdullah, the man accused of fatally shooting the Goldman Sachs researcher Daniel Enriquez on the Q train to the mayor. After alerting the media, he showed up at the precinct where the suspect was to turn himself in wearing a thick gold chain and a Fendi blazer. The pastor's expensive taste and flair for the dramatic drew skeptics in the police department, and cops ended up arresting Abdullah in front of the suspect's lawyer's office. His checker pass didn't win him any supporters in law enforcement. Whitehead served 5 years of prison for a $2 million identity theft scam. Oh, come on.
Woo! $2 million. Woo! That's that fed time.
People just, you build a church, people just gonna show up. Right? You build a church, they be like, it don't matter what you did. It's all good. I'm sure that was a misunderstanding. It's all good. Take my money. Okay. My goodness. Must be nice. Just sprinkle some Christian on it. Just, there you go.
Yeah, sprinkle some Christian.
Just sprinkle it on there. Don't matter. It's like, yeah, I used to steal. I used to kill. I used to do all that shit. But you know what, though? I'm saved now. Give me y'all money. Come up off of it. Y'all know what this is. Oh, my goodness. Oh, we love to see it, though. All right. All right, let's get into you know what? Let's get into some Guess the Race. All right. That's what the Lord really wants.
What time is it?
It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race.
That's right. Guess the Race time, the game where we go all around the globe, find different articles, and we guess the race of the people involved. Today's contestants, everybody, okay? Everybody's guessing. I'm just kidding. It's Karen in the chat room. It's always Karen in the chat room, everybody. We all know the Guess the Race segment.
Mm-hmm.
Karen, how you feeling?
Good.
All right. I mean, you should be feeling good. There's no reason not to. Man shot outside of an Oklahoma City Taco Bell, now suing the security guard. Taco Bell security guard is being sued for shooting a man who was homeless back last summer. The victim's attorney has released security footage of the incident to corroborate the validate the claims. I mean, yeah, I saw this video. It's bad.
Now to video that may be disturbing for some of you at home. A surveillance camera captures the moment a private security guard shoots a man in the parking lot.
I know you're not seeing it because Guess the Race.
Now, a year later.
Why would I show you the video, Karen? We've been doing this 2,000 shows.
My bad. Of course you're not showing me. I forgot. My bad.
The man who was shot. Now to video that may be disturbing for some of you at home. A surveillance camera captures the moment a private security guard shoots a man in the parking lot of a Metro Taco Bell. Now, a year later, the man who was shot is suing the security guard. News 4's Kaitor K is looking into this for us. Kaitor.
This happened at a Taco Bell in downtown OKC last July. Video shows Bradley Bishop getting shot in the back as he walks away and collapsing seconds later. Again, we want to warn you, this video is graphic.
I was shocked. When I first saw that video, I honestly couldn't believe it.
Attorney Nicholas Elliott sharing surveillance video which appears to show his client, Bradley Bishop, a homeless man, getting shot in the back by contracted security guard Antoine Martin at a Taco Bell near downtown OKC in July of 2021. Bishop claims he only went inside the building for a cup of water. That's when Elliott says his client was confronted by Martin, their altercation spilling out into the parking lot, where Bishop appears to hit Martin across the shoulder with a belt before walking off.
And Mr. Martin decides at that point to fire 4 shots into the direction of Bradley. 2 of them hit him in his back, and it nearly killed him.
Martin was charged last year with assault and battery with a deadly weapon. A preliminary hearing conference is set to take place next month. In addition, he and the private security company he owns are now facing a lawsuit from Bishop, who's seeking compensation for pain and suffering, as well as punitive damages.
Bradley nearly lost his life from this incident. He still is dealing with the effects and likely will deal with the effects physically and mentally for the rest of his life. We also want to send a message and set a standard that, companies that do things like this, individuals that do things like this, it's not okay.
We reached out to Martin's pre-litigation attorney and Taco Bell for comment, but haven't heard back. We also visited Martin's security company twice this week, heard people inside, but no one would answer the door.
They picking out the blinds.
Oh, God, he's back. Karen, Guess the Race.
I'm going to go black.
All right. We're talking about the security guard, by the way. Chat room, Guess the race of the security guard that shot this man. White, top flight security of the world. Craig, black. White, black. Very divided chat room today. Black victim, black company, black reporter. White, Baja Blast for that ass. White.
That's hilarious.
Nigga, black. Okay, so it looked like majority went black. Shooting hot lead, then hot shit out that ass for that Chalupa Cravens box, black. Won't shoot until he sees the whites of that ass, white. The correct answer is, Karen, what'd you go with?
Black.
He was black. Some people missed it. I mean, he looked like he'll shoot a nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the video on the inside show him like hitting the dude first and then kicking him out and then shooting him in the parking lot. Like,
oh yeah, you deserve to be sued.
Yeah, he was straight power tripping. I mean, you security at Taco Bell. Now, I would like to say, that he went too far, but at the same time, security at Taco Bell, that's probably about par for the course. That's probably what you got to do.
Oh no.
I mean, listen, okay, I'll just move on.
I mean, it is a Taco Bell. I get it.
It's security at Taco Bell probably got to go hard. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Unless it was security at Waffle House, they might go a little harder.
Yeah, security at Waffle House might be top flight security, Craig.
Let's see. Actually, I don't know the race of this one.
Okay.
Fuck. It's a dude that was dressed as a grandma that's robbing banks, and it looked like he's black, but then we've seen people that like painted their arms to look black, you know, so could be fake. I don't know.
Okay, you pick another story.
All right, do this one then. LAPD says robbery suspect accidentally shot accomplice while unloading the stolen goods.
Oh no! So I shot the person that's trying to do the duty with me.
2 men have been arrested in connection with a follow home robbery that targeted 4 tourists in Los Angeles after one of them was accidentally shot by another as they were allegedly unloading the stolen property from a vehicle. Artez Alvarez and Chance Lee Yarborough, 21 and 20, both of Los Angeles, faced multiple charges in connection with April 20 home invasion.
I learned on what was that the movie we watched, the Gray Man. You never toss a loaded gun. That's why.
Yeah, it was out here, me and my niggas trying to get it, yeah, bitch.
Right.
Home invasion was persuasive. Just before the incident, the 4 tourists, all men visiting from North California, arrived at the Airbnb from a restaurant. As they got out their vehicle at 12:45 a.m., 3 suspects approached them and held them at gunpoint. 2 of the suspects were armed with handguns, and the third had a rifle. One victim was pistol whipped, and they were forced to go inside the home, where they were ordered to get on the floor while the residence was ransacked. The $75,000 worth of belongings stolen include a high-end watch, Mercedes key fob, phones, designer clothing, and currency. A short time after the robbery, a shooting occurred at 1:15 a.m. When officers responded, they found a trail of blood from a sidewalk to an apartment door. SWAT officers were called and entered the apartment. Investigators obtained a search warrant and found many of the stolen items from the earlier robbery inside the apartment where one of them lived. The officers then found 3 guns, 2 semi-automatic handguns, and an AR pistol. At 2:15 a.m. that same day, Yarborough went to the hospital with a gunshot wound to his left leg. Well, there's some fatal attraction for my man.
Shit, ain't it?
Crime. Y'all motherfuckers got caught so fast.
This wouldn't be the full 30 minutes. Y'all be like 15. They'll do this and then start another story.
Police ain't got to investigate nobody, no interrogation,
no witnesses.
Investigators determined he was accidentally shot by another one of the suspects when they were unloading the stolen items from a vehicle. After the shooting, the 3 suspects took the stolen items into the apartment and took Yarborough to a hospital. Alvarez was arrested April 25th in connection with the robbery. He's charged with 4 counts, each of kidnap for robbery, assault with a deadly weapon, 1 count of being an ex-con with a gun. At the time of the crime, Alvarez was out for bond for a different robbery.
What?
Yarborough is charged with 4 counts, each of kidnap for robbery, assault with a deadly weapon. They're being held on $4 million bail. The third suspect has not been identified. Karen, guess the race.
Boy, I'm gonna go everybody black.
All right, let's check the chat room, see what they believe for the races. Keystone Crooks White decided that 50-50 split was better. Latino, Hispanic, Latinx con, Hispanic, Latino. Anybody? Okay, the correct answer is Karen went with black. You got it right. That was a good one, Karen. A lot of people missed that.
It just sounded like some nigga shit. Like it
did.
just didn't make no sense.
It really did.
I was like, oh, this is some ignorant shit. Y'all was not prepared.
So shout out to the people that missed it. Man, I know that shit was terrible.
That's these new wave criminals, boy.
Cause like they were at one of their apartments, like they left the stolen goods there. The cops were called. Then you went to the hospital. It was just like you were trying not to get away with the crime.
Yes.
Oh my God. All right, let's go to the bonus round. Karen is 2 for 2.
Yay!
That was why I ain't racist. How can I be racist about anybody or anything in my life? How can I?
Call them niggas. Just call them niggas.
It's time to get the race.
Gold chain wearing, fried chicken and biscuit eating, monkey eat baboon, big guy, fast running, high jumping, spear chucking, 360-degree basketball.
All right, final one, Karen. You ready?
Yay! Let's
Here we
go.
Calaman is accused of driving a stolen pickup truck to the U.S. Space Force Base in Brevard County, and deputies say Corey Allen Johnson said that he tried to get on the base because the president had told him he needed to warn the government that aliens were fighting Chinese dragons. Deputies realized the truck was stolen and placed Johnson under arrest for grand theft auto.
They putting the fentanyl in the drugs. It's fucking us up. Karen, guess the race.
Why? What kind of Game of Thrones bullshit is this?
I'm a time traveler from the future. The president sent me to tell you the aliens is attacking the Chinese dragons. The name Corey Johnson is his name. No guesses. A lot of people seem scared to guess.
Apparently they is. They scared.
Chasing the dragon white. He wore a tinfoil hat black. White. Very divided so far. White. All right. People losing confidence in themselves. White. It's funny when y'all be afraid to miss. Like, y'all know it's not a real. No one. Anyway.
No one keep a real score.
Shang-Chi is real black. The correct answer is Karen.
Yes.
You went 3 for 3 today. Congratulations. He was white.
Yay!
Trying to show his picture. I might be able to show it to y'all in the article. Let me see if I can refresh it. Oh, that's him. He looked like he was Slizzard to the Lizard.
Oh no!
Corey Johnson was definitely fucked up. Now, some people did miss it. Also, man, I'm sure. I don't know. Every time I hear Space Force, I just get mad at Trump.
Me too. Every time I hear Space Force, I always want to go coast to coast, even though I know it's not the same thing.
Right.
Don't ask me why.
Why? Space Force, coast to coast.
I just, every time I hear that, that's what I want to say. I was like, y'all not, in my mind, I'm going, y'all not completing the sentence.
I feel like Space Force has a theme song that sounds like 3, 2, 1 contact, you know?
Yes!
Space Force. All right, let's get to the final thing. Sword ratchetness. A man was stabbed in a sword attack at a flat in Nuneaton.
Flat. This is in London, England, somewhere around over there. Okay,
yeah. You know that's how they talk over there. A man was believed to have been stabbed with a sword in an altercation at a flat in Nuneaton. Armed police were spotted swarmed around the Bull Ring Friendship Housing flats at just before 11:30 a.m. Warwickshire police. I swear, all this shit just makes me so excited for Lord of the Rings. I mean, that
all I think about is castles.
It's coming to Amazon Prime. Plus, Game of Thrones coming back. I mean, you gotta love it,
right?
Warwickshire police confirmed to Coventry Live that the armed unit were part of the force's response to the reports that a man had been stabbed. The victim, a 51-year-old man who has not been identified, received a stab wound to his upper left arm. Coventry Live understands he was attacked with a sword. A Warwickshire police spokesman confirmed that a bladed weapon was found at one of the flats within the building. The injured man is currently receiving treatment in hospital. Officers have made one arrest, a man who's been taken into custody. He is due to be questioned in relation to the incident later today. In the meantime, investigation in the incident, which saw part of the Bull Ring and College Street sealed off, are ongoing. Anyone who witnessed this incident, whether they be hobbit, elf, or man, should call 101 quoting incident reference 124 on 17 February. Details can also be passed on to officers via the independent charity Crime Stoppers. So there you go. Get these motherfucking swords off the street. All right, y'all. That's it. Thanks for listening. We appreciate y'all. It's been fun. Had a good time.
Yay!
We'll be back later in the week. Until then, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, everyone. Have a good rest of your night. Peace.